Today, I will have a conversation with my friend Robert, who I met about a year ago at his cafe, Lyfe in Bali. Greeted with his signature effervescent enthusiasm, I immediately recognized Robert's huge heart and zest for life. Over the past year, Robert and I have continued to bump into one another at various gatherings within Bali's vibrant social impact scene. It was only a matter of time before our positive affinity for one another would grow into a friendship. Robert is the author of Soul Survivor, an inspiring story of how an abandoned child went from nothing to everything. Robert is on a mission to positively impact 1 billion lives by 2070 through business development, community building, and mastering strategic collaborations for business. I am so excited to have this conversation with Robert today on the topic of community building and human connection. I hope you enjoy our conversation and that it offers you some inspiration to bring into your creative explorations.
So it's been a phenomenal week.
Yeah.
5-day pivot with Les Brown, Richard Harrington, Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, and Deepak Chopra.
Right.
So each one has an hour. It's like a summit, online summit. Mm-hmm. And each one has got incredible value to share, incredible value to offer. And from each one, there was something different that was coming out that I was reminded of, consciousness as such. And I love the way that Deepak put it, which was the one I listened to twice, couldn't get it all once, even though he speaks very slowly. Yeah. But the way that he fuses science and spirituality together, and delivering this understanding of, where science is up to, what it can prove, what it can't prove, and the leap between that and where it is now, which is a sense of everything is God, basically, everything that's been created, this moment now, thought, things, non-living, living, organic, non-organic. It's all God. It's all the same process of creation, and from that perspective, it's all God. So that was just an amazing distinction to get. And like the last 3 days, I've just been taking that in on a slightly different level of just being unlimited. And the fact that we truly are the creator of our experience. The fact that when you look at dark matter and how it ties everything together, and the fact that when we look at our human existence, that it occupies a tiny percentage of the spectrum. And when you go in deeper and 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 deeper, you get to two things. You get to a particle and you get to a wave. And that wave is a wave of possibility. And the particle is a possibility incarnated as matter, as something that's physical, a thought that's been defined and now realized. So this wave it's completely and entirely in our control. And it's just on a slightly different level, just realizing that, we are the creator of our existence. And it just comes down to how we've decided to use that unlimited tool, whether we've decided to, think, believe that we're disconnected from one another, or whether we choose to take it on board that we're actually extremely and totally and utterly connected to one another, and our thought determines our experience, and it's, so getting that on a different level, on a level of science, and as Deepak likes to talk, maybe not such a great explanation, but incredible. And seeing how Les Brown, has used that and his experience of consciousness, and Lisa Nichols, her experience of consciousness, and Tony Robbins, his experience of consciousness, and obviously Richard Harrington, his experience of consciousness, and each one is evolving into this point of connection, connection with yourself and all that is in the same moment, which is now gone, which is now. Gone.
But it's so beautiful that science and spirituality are like now starting to come together.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much more accessible for so many people that relate more to the scientific method.
Yeah.
And now that we're seeing that they're all pointing at the same direction, it kind of offers a level of legitimacy for people that otherwise might have disregarded something that's seemingly spiritual, like we can create with our thoughts. Which, you know, for maybe you and I, that seems so matter of fact. But when you can actually show that from a scientific perspective, it's really powerful.
Yeah. And like, you know, just the way that we choose to condition ourselves, whether it's the environment that we're in, which has an impact on how we think, and it's just how to reprogram, you know, to recalibrate, to reintegrate in a way, you know, of, hey, you know, like the experience that we're having now is a direct result of how we think, which is a direct result of coming back to that wave in a particle, you know, at its finest level, and then dark matter beyond that that's holding everything together. But it's crazy cool, you know, and just even going into your day with that feeling of, you know, I am the creator, from that sense I am God, from that sense, from that perspective, and just letting that sit, and where possible reminding yourself of that as often as you can. You know, it was a bit like I think it was Les Brown was always saying that, you know, for every negative thought, it's like science has proven that it takes a positive affirmation 16 times, right? That 83% of most people's self-talk is negative. You know, so there's this daily need to reintegrate, to realize, to remember who we are, you know, in terms of being unlimited. And you know, and so I'm enjoying that process. I'm enjoying, because there are times where I forget and I get stuck in the thing that I'm doing at the time, or the action reaction scenario. And then even today, you know, coming here, there's a few things that were running around my head, and I was on the bike kind of going towards the sunset, and I just remembered, hang on a second, stop, pattern interrupt, you're unlimited. Why are you limiting yourself? You know, just a little thought that came up to what was going on, and then that was that thing which I required to get me back on track again.
Yeah.
You know, so this daily realization of keep on coming, keep remembering, keep putting it in, 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 16 to the power of 1, keep putting it in, keep putting it in, right? And it eventually begins to stick.
Yeah, it's like I started doing this workshop a couple of weeks ago on rewriting subconscious scripts, and it was so powerful.
Wow.
In that my conscious brain totally knows that I'm good enough and I'm worthy.
Yeah.
Yet there are these subconscious scripts that come from my childhood that try to undermine what I know is not true, which is that I'm not enough and that I need to prove myself. And just to watch how this subconscious pattern plays out. So to hear how you express this, it's a beautiful journey that I think so many of us are going through, where we're kind of like seeing these patterns that kind of disrupt our capacity to truly connect with our potential.
Absolutely. And you know, the other bit which I'm loving, you know, about this whole mind-body connection to ourselves and each other, is this, you know, I'm becoming more and more clear that that right now, to me, it's about the understanding that life is a bit like a beautiful painting, you know, and this beautiful painting is made into a jigsaw puzzle, and this jigsaw puzzle has many pieces, and it's like the people that I'm meeting, they each have a piece For some, maybe they have more than one piece, but they have a piece. And, you know, and to commit that piece to reality, there's three things that come up. You know, one is that whoever's in possession of that piece, they're doing what they love to do. They're doing what they're great at. They're doing what they're born to do. You know, they're mastering that process. So that's the first thing, that their contribution. And the second thing is that, you know, they've reached the stage of trusting themselves, which is trusting other people as well. That's the second piece. And then the third piece is that, you know, their commitment and their intention is to the upliftment of humanity. In other words, being in service of others, you know. And with these three things, it's acting as the glue that brings all of this puzzle together. And each day I meet several pieces, one piece, multiple pieces, based upon the day, which just fit into this place. And then this, you know, this feeling comes up, which has always been there, of this person, I need to connect with this person, and that person with that person, and you just do it. There's no delay, you know, they just, because you know the time is now. And then you just watch it happen and evolve. And then next thing I know, I've created this group called Projects with Purpose, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to add you to.
Okay.
My God, there you go. There's another one I forgot. But adding it in. But like what it is that, you know, like one, had a beautiful girl called Christia from Cabron Vintage Markets on Speak Up Monday. On Monday, sorry. And incredible person. So it got me thinking, because business development, people development is the same. And it's like, well, what if we can get some of the greatest minds or hearts or committed people to that one spot on a Sunday and just see what we can contribute, you know? Could be an idea, could be a collaboration, could be just being there to support these micro businesses which are supported by her doing this event. And you know, the idea is that, you know, this is part of the group which is forming, you know, which can, this Sunday it's Cabron Vintage Markets. Next week or in 2 weeks or in 4 weeks it might be a different place or different, but it's the same approach. In that group there's people which have gifts and skills and traits and quality and trust, and whatever resonates with them that particular week or on that particular occasion, we all meet up there and we contribute to the venue, to the place, to the people who are doing it in whichever way we can, you know. Super cool. You know, so then these are just things which are coming up. This came up this morning after meditation. Oh, I know what I need to do. Amazing. You know, and you just make it and you just do it.
It feels like the way in which you create is a very kind of inspired and organic way, where there is this kind of like level of trust of like not needing to know how, but it's just all kind of coming together. And I'm just curious, like how did you arrive at that place where you could, you know, just trust in your creative potential to just bring together so many beautiful things with such ease?
Great question. I mean, firstly, I would say that, you know, it's something which has been within me for a long time. From growing up in 2 children's homes in London for 18 years, that blessed me with the understanding that regardless of the colour of our skin or the money in our pocket or the language, the accent that we speak with, mate, there's a level of unity that unites all of us. And on a Sunday afternoon, we'd have like 30, 40, 50 people in that back garden who were all different. But then it was like at the door we left. It's like Switzerland, we left our ego, we left all of this stuff, and we were then able to just connect as human beings around football, around whatever it was we were doing, but that was around football. And then I saw the value of events, and the value of events in the way of bringing people together. And I think already then, because I was an introvert at home and an extrovert at school, and the introversion gave me the ability to check and to see and to feel people and feel, the interaction, feel their confidence, feel their energy, feel their belief in themselves, feel their confidence, feel their disbelief, feel their belief. So I was able to start to connect the dots. And then that moved, there was like a racist attack that happened at the age of 12 as well, and a few other things that happened. But what I realized was I could be part of the solution or part of the problem. And that was a massive thing for me. And so those two things, which were brought together, then basically ended up in me becoming an event producer, and 2,000 events. I did a count the other day. So I've put on 2,000 events, which is a crazy number, which has attracted over 1 million people over 25 years, right? 30 years, yeah. And so I've touched all of them, right? And so then it's become this way of being that I've become extremely comfortable with, because it's happened many, 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 many times. But the thing is, though, is that from time to time, there's doubt, or the need to earn money, or the need to do this that can come in and disrupt that flow. So then what I need to do is to keep that connection open. Keep that connection open and realize, and through the work which I'm doing, I set an intention some months ago. In the next 50 years, I just turned 51 recently. In the next 50 years, what I'm committed to is positively impacting the lives of 1 billion plus people, right? And so when I set an intention like that for the next 50 years, then the people that I start to meet and coming into my life match up with and align with that intention. Now, with that intention, the people that I'm bumping into and receiving energy from, there's no space for me to be selfish. There's no space for me to be, this is mine, that's yours. So, so this ability to give, whereas before maybe in some situations it was like, well, if I give this, there's no money, I need to earn money, maybe I won't give it. Maybe I'll hold it back because I've got a family to feed, right? Okay. Now it's reminded me as well that if that ever comes in, it can't exist when I'm lining up on that direction. There's no space. So I keep getting reminded, if I'm ever in that place, hey, this is not how it is. All right, you just need to give. All right, it's coming back from whichever direction. It's coming back. But you need to give and be unselfish in that giving, and don't let yourself be consumed by fear about missing out or giving too much. Yes, everything has a value, and in the world, it's an exchange of value at the end of the day. But where you can, you give. Right, and that's what you do. So being reminded of that just allows me to keep on reconnecting. And in these last days where I've been focused very much on it, I can see the impact that it's made, not only on those around me and those which I've connected, but in my own life also. The level of energy, right? The level of love, the level of action, the level of trust, all raising through the roof. And the only thing which I've changed is that thought, that intention, of the next 50 years. This is the direction. This is the commitment, which I'm committed to and I love, right? So this is where I'm going. This is it. And somebody asked me the other day, what's different? Because I thought you've always thought like that, and in many ways it's correct. I have always thought like that, but never been able to really put it into words. Like, this is it. 1 billion plus people. This time that direction.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
This is the new breed of billionaires.
Yeah.
You know, to impact 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. So what, like, can you kind of articulate what gives you this spark, like where it comes from, this spark of just like creativity and passion? Because for me, in this, in so many ways, this is what connection is. Is like when we're in this place where we can express our pure essence. And my experience of you is that you really experience this pure essence that is so uniquely you, and it has a vibrancy to it. And so I'm just curious where that comes from.
Yeah, like, great question. You know, in many ways, it's connected to that source. It's connected to that, as my friend Philip Gested reminds me of, follow your bliss. You know, like, there's something that you love to do. You know, and we're all really, 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 really good at something. All of us. You know, not just me or you, but all of us. And part of life is finding what that is. You know, for whichever period of time we have it, or we enjoy it, or we share it for. And you know, so for me, I've always been a person to try different things. Try, it doesn't work, I'll try something else. I'll do something else. No, it doesn't, I'll do something else. And this was me growing up in the orphanage. It taught me certain things, resilience. You know, I came to a place of understanding that I could be anywhere. Daily understanding of doing what you love, doing what drives you, following your bliss, connecting to that, doing that, and then you'll find that it's something which, you know, like when you're in your zone of mastery, you know, like, it's time doesn't really exist. You just do. There's not really much thought. You just do because you trust, and you just do. You know, and so, you know, like, that's really been it. Just being open, being clear on what my intention is, and knowing that what comes in is in. And when I'm in that place of calm and reconnection and realizing that I'm unlimited, you know, then there's space and there's room for things to drop in. And those things that drop in get actioned as soon as possible. They get actioned. And when something gets actioned like that, then you get more. It's almost like, hey, I'm giving you this little piece to see if you really do want it or not, right?
Totally.
I'm giving you like, I'm ready for more. Okay, there's some more. I'm ready for more. You know, like, we have this dog, but not, I think, not for any longer. But you know, it's like that. You know, when you're feeding a pet, it's like, next, more, and it's like that. You know, so I always remain in that student mindset, that learner's mindset. You know, which is, you know, as a teacher is ready, the student will appear, right? So I'm constantly learning. You know, and I'm committed to that. You know, I'm committed to the fact that I'll be learning for the rest of my life and beyond, and I'm happy with that. But I'm just mastery. I'm just into mastery. I'm just about getting better, just improving. This is what I pass on. You know, learn, teach. Right? You know, learn, assimilate, teach, or learn, teach, assimilate. Learn, teach, assimilate. You know, or as someone put it the other day, learn, unlearn. You know, learn, unlearn to get to the next stage. Because what you had before, you don't need it anymore. It's the next one. You know, and just getting that. You know, every day I'm listening to something. You know, every day I'm listening to something. Like I said, it's been Les Brown, it's been Deepak, it's been Tony Robbins, it's been Lisa Nichols, it's been Richard Harrington. You know, each day I'm listening to something. You know, pretty much. You know, and I just. Yeah, you just know what there is to listen to. It comes in, you know. The things which I'm watching, you know, are those things which interest me. Are those things that also help that spark to be fueled. You know, it's like a locomotive, you know, old style locomotive, which you need wood, you know, to feed so it burns, right? It's like that. It's like more. So I'm just putting things in action, but always action.
What's something that you're actioning right now, creating right now that you're super excited about?
Yeah, well, this morning, this, so we had on the show Christia from Gabon, Christia Panamata, Dharma One, and great woman, very sharp, very smart, very in touch, and very authentic. One of our best interviews, it was number 81, and we do them every week. And so I got this understanding, that we need to build this circle of influence, this circle of people who are there to contribute to others. So then what happened was that I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to create a WhatsApp group. I need to put a bunch of people in there who I've met here in Bali. I think are amazing people. And just connect them this Sunday, 1 p.m. Let's go to Gabon Market and let's see what happens. But the purpose of that group is to honor, uplift, contribute to Christia and the business that she has going on at Gabon Boutique Markets, which is supporting so many micro businesses who are going through an incredibly hard, difficult time, giving them hope, giving them understanding, giving them inspiration, giving them joy and trust. It's very powerful, and this group I know will grow. And literally, it's who resonates with this, and then in a week, 2 weeks, whenever it comes up, there's another thing. And put that in the group. Hey guys, this is what it is. This is what they're doing. Let's support them in whichever way we can. And whoever resonates, who's ever available, shows up. Might be 1 people, 10 people, 5 people, 100 people. I don't know. I have no idea. But it doesn't matter because I trust them that those who need to show will show.
There was this crazy project that was going on in New York like 20 years ago that I met this guy that started. He called it Carrot Mob.
Ooh.
Like the carrot stick. And it's like it's supporting anybody that's doing something positive. So they would like pick a business that was like doing something really good, and then they would just all go there and like support it.
Lovely.
And so when you're talking about this, it reminded me of that. But that's super powerful to like just have a group of people that are all about kind of supporting one another's businesses and things that are uplifting.
Yeah, and it just came this morning, just dropped in and like, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now.
Immediacy. Boom.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah. And just experiment and test it out.
Yeah.
And maybe it becomes something amazing, maybe not. But you're just following your bliss.
Yeah. And that intention, whoever's in that group, will feel that intention.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it's just starting. So so every day there's something.
Yeah. Amazing. Cool. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
It's so interesting to come in contact with people and just to immediately feel like this connection, this brotherhood. And I certainly felt that with you the first time I met you, and each time we hang out it feels like it just kind of elevates and grows. So
and I love hanging out with you, man, and I want to acknowledge you for being an incredible human being, and the other time hearing your story, it was like oh, like it gave me another dimension. I already felt what I felt, and that was amazing. That's a feeling that I was definitely connected to and attracted to. And then hearing that just gave me more awareness of where that came from. What a great gift you have. An amazing story, an amazing way to be a support for millions and billions of people. So my man, like I'm looking forward to seeing whatever it is we're gonna create. This is part of it.
We're building lighthouses, beacons of hope.
Beacons of hope. That's not a name right there.
Amazing.
My brother.